be associational. Now, it may be that you enter into a church that is already a part of an association, a biblical confessional association of churches. If that's the case, praise God for it. Support that, feed that, enter into that, value that, encourage that, and get your whole congregation on board, because that is gold dust. That is so valuable to you. But it's very likely that you will enter into a church that is not in such a privileged position. And that's where being associational is the stepping stone towards either forming yourself or entering into an association as a church. What do I mean by be associational? If there's no formal commitment to association yet, it means have the mindset that is associational. In other words, encourage your church to think in terms of its relationships with other churches. And you foster that by your own outlook and perspective. Always seek to be in partnership. Always seek to be in shared communion with other churches, and seek to bring your church along with that. Now, when you enter into the ministry, you enter into the ministry of a particular local church. That is true. But you are called to that particular church insofar as that church belongs to the church universal. And you want to be encouraging the members of your church to be thinking in that associational way from day one. Now, we've already mentioned the benefit of having a biblical eldership and being in working communion with other men who share your convictions and who trust you and you trust them. Well, what we're talking about here in terms of association is working that out between churches. So you can have communion with other churches where you are seeking their benefit and they are seeking your benefit, where you are praying for them and they are praying for you, where you are ministering to them and they are ministering to you, where you are able to step in and help them in a time of crisis and they are able to step in and help you in a time of crisis. This is what association is all about. It's not about undermining the autonomy of a local church or replacing our congregational polity with a sort of a Presbyterian or an Erastian model. No, it's not that. What it is applying that genuine commitment to the good of the churches that you see there in Acts 15 in practice in our experience. And none of us knows in our church when we are really going to need association. I've seen churches melt down. I've seen churches fall to pieces. I've seen ministers abandon the ministry and never return because there was no association. There are times when we face problems in our churches that we simply cannot resolve on our own. And it's no good at such a time suddenly to call on some stranger to come in and help, or suddenly to show an interest in other churches as though they're going to be able to help you. No, you have to build those relationships from the beginning. So when you enter the ministry, be associational. If the association is there, commit yourself to it, throw yourself into it, value it, build it, grow it. If it isn't there, be the one that fosters it and encourages it, because you need it. And the irony is, you don't know when you're really going to need it. All you do know is that day will come. And when it comes, it needs to be in place. So be associational.